show. Hurrah!
Take me out, Jim.
Yeah, kick out Wes.
Oh,
you don't want him here. Bye, Wes.
Bye, Wes.
we cut the back of him. Hey guys, welcome. Got Aron Ra. I've got Reverend Brother Heathen. I got Skids the Clown. I got producer Wes in the background. These guys are from Faith Not Included, and that's a part of a larger network called TANG. And I'll let them talk about what they got, some things they got coming up. First off, let's get plugs out of the way. Aron, what are you? Well, everyone knows who you are. What are you working on right now? And where can we find all your different, your website, your all of that?
Well, the only website I want anyone to know about is patreon.com/ARONRA.
Yes.
Activism is my full-time gig, and I need all the help I can get. This Monday, I will be at Texas Tech in Lubbock, giving a presentation for the monthly meeting of the Secular Student Alliance. It's the first thing I've been scheduled for since this whole COVID thing began. Like, well, how many years ago has it been now?
18 months, almost 2 years now.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Lubbock. Are you going to try to eat that 96-ounce steak in an hour so you get it free?
My wife had me practicing. Earlier this week, I had 2 32-ounce steaks in a row. Oh my gosh, you're not joking. You're going to go for it.
Monster.
Yeah.
Wow, you are a monster. Boy.
You get your name on the wall or something. You get some big honor if you can pull it off. What else? Your book, Foundational Falsehoods of Creationism. You're the founder of the Phylogeny Explorer Project. That's a separate website too. And that's it. All right.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, the rest of you guys, Brother Heathen, Reverend Brother Heathen, Skids the Clown. We got Wes and your producers in the green room right now. So tell us who you are and where we can find you.
May I start, Jimmy? Can I start this?
Please.
All right.
I'll be good.
The Reverend Brother Heathen, Jimmy Lou, and myself are the host of Faith Not Included. It is the show where we talk about those crazy Christian conspiracy claims and their crazier conspiracy theories. It is a part of the Atheist Network group. And together, we basically put on a show where we talk about Christian nationalism, its effect on politics. We discuss why people believe in conspiracy theories. We discuss why they believe in the Bible. And we wrap it all up in very tasteful and classy jokes revolving around farts and penis.
Lies, all lies. Don't listen to him. We specialize in dick and fart jokes, and we have a little bit of sophistication on the side. It's like a garnish, but that is our bread and butter. But I'm sorry, that's what sells. He didn't want to do it. He's a sellout, but that's okay. Because you know what?
I'm in it for the fans.
But listen, I want to say thank you so much, Jim, for having us on. Usually the Church of Heretics on Saturdays, this is our charity work time. We go down to the old age home and we visit with the old people. We tickle them. We chase them around the yard. They love it. When we come, they're at the window. Yeah, it's great. But when Skids came up to me and he told me, he goes, Aron Ra is going to be on. We have a chance to have an interview with Aron Ra. I was like, I don't give a fuck about Aron Ra. You know I fucking hate that guy. Why did you fucking bring up his name, Skids? And he's like, Jimmy, shut up.
Just 5 minutes.
Shut up. And he's like, he knew, right. But he saw that. He's like, Jimmy, clean out your ears. Because he saw me eating a bowl of mashed potatoes.
And it gets everywhere.
Everywhere. I get it in my hair and my ears. He knows me better. So I clean it out. And he's like, Jimmy, I didn't say Aron Ra. I said Aron Ra. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. And we did this for about 2 minutes. I'll save you the rest. But at the end of it, I was like, hell yeah. I canceled everything. And we made it here tonight because I'll tell you seriously, I had to come out. I'm sorry. He's going to get embarrassed. My partner's going to be embarrassed. But the reason why it's so important, because we really work hard on our show, but we play hard too. So afterwards, shut up, Skids. I'm telling them. I don't care. So afterwards, we like to play Unholy Trinity Action Force. It's kind of like a role playing, and we solve crimes. And Skids gets to play Seth Andrews, and Wes is Matt Dillahunty, and I always pick Aron Ra. because he's the badass of the group, right? Skids like is able to, because Seth Andrews like sophistication. He talks to ladies.
I
He's
told
like,
you not to talk about this on air. This is embarrassing. You need
All right, guys.
I don't care. This is important.
Just Jim's trying to talk.
I was going to ask which one of you, because I guess when we were trying to book the show, one of you said I had something to do. Sorry, can't make it. And as soon as you found out Aron Ra was going to be on, also, you went, okay, yeah, I'll be. You motherfuckers! It's Atheist Edge. It was fuck me, but Aron Ra, yeah, now I'll come on your show.
We have.
It's true. I'm sorry. Like, he is one of the godfathers. He is our betters.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We got two things I want to do.
He is our betters, sir. But you know what? I know it's a big deal that we get to be with Aron Ra, but we've had Michael Wiseman of the Bible Says What, and Andy Hall of Laughing in Disbelief. So I know Aron Ra is a big deal, but my God, we had Michael motherfucking Wiseman and Andy Hall. It was incredible. So I'm kind of used to. I don't get excited when I'm in front of celebrity and greatness.
Okay, now's the time to bring it down.
I'm glad Andy Hall continued Daily Atheist, that whole thing after Chris Mallard kind of just bowed out. So at least someone's keeping it going. Good on him. I like to see that. So I've got two things I want to do. The first one is I call it word association, and I kind of went through it in my head, in the shower this morning. It didn't really play as well as it did. So I might just turn it into a regular interview. I might just turn it into interview questions. Next thing is, before the show, I checked my PayPal account, and I just transferred over some money a couple days ago. And so any t-shirt sales for the show makes or Patreon, it all goes into the PayPal. And so you guys saw it, right? I'm not going to go back, but I shared the screen. You saw what was in there.
We were aware.
It was a number. It was a dollar amount between $0 and $100, right?
Yes. Oh my God, it was incredible. It was very sexy.
Okay, so you don't know how much is in there. We do. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but whatever's in my PayPal balance right now, that's what we're playing for. You guys watching the viewers. So towards the ass end of the show, we're going to do a little 10-question fun quiz, and you guys going to answer on the live chat. Whoever wins gets my PayPal balance right now.
Oh my God, that's incredible! No one does this. This is insane. No wonder. Like, you are the king, sir. You are giving us great ideas. Thank you. This is genius.
I was going to do word association. I got 10 little things here. I'd like just little topics to talk about. First off, you do the Phylogeny Explorer project. You get invited all over the world to speak at universities in London or wherever. And first off, for those of the viewers that don't understand, what is phylogeny and how does it fit into life science? And what do you give your lectures on?
Phylogeny is the systematic classification of life. It's the modern variant of taxonomy, essentially, what Carolus Linnaeus came up with in 1735, where he was putting all life forms into categories within categories. And whether he expected that he was going to be able to reveal created kinds, because he was living a century before Darwin and had no concept of evolution. He thought that species could only come about as a special act of creation by God. The system that he put together, he realized that everything is within boxes, within parental boxes, and it had a series of descendant daughter sets branching out in a family tree pattern, which he could not explain. And so now we have further evidence, not just morphological, but we have things that he didn't have. We also have the fossil record, and we have studies of embryology, because he didn't have microscopes. And now, of course, we also have genetics, and these are all pointing out the same pattern.
Tang, guys, have you seen? I've seen a lot of atheist content creators really just going after Matt Powell just here in the last week or two. And I think he's talking about soft tissue dinosaur DNA, soft tissue, which would prove that dinosaurs are way younger. They're not 65 million years old. Also, something about dinosaur farts. Do you guys or Aron, do any of you? I'll open it up to any of you. What's Matt Powell talking about?
You know what? I have not seen Matt Powell's latest video. You've definitely intrigued me because I will definitely check it out because Matt Powell is one of our favorite subjects. But honestly, if Matt Powell is using his usual level of skepticism, critical thinking, and ability to bring convincing evidence to the table, then more than likely he's got nothing but dinosaur farts to talk about, which, honestly is a good thing to talk about. Short answer, Matt Powell wouldn't know a dinosaur fart if it basically hit him in the face.
I have a little different approach when talking about these idiots. Aron Ra rightly said they have the burden of proof, and they've tried to change this narrative that they don't. And every time I hear when those idiots talk, it's like listening to a child talking about their make-believe friend. And they come up with all these great facts and everything. We should be calling them out for the children that they are. These are ridiculous. Like, this is stupid. And that, people give this serious entertainment. Oh my God. And this is where the narrative needs to stop. And that's part of what we focus on. We're trying to change the narrative because the religious right have done a wonderful job of hijacking narratives all over the place, whether it's morality, because they think they have a monopoly on it. It's scientific facts that don't bear up to anything. I'm a dumbass with science, and I can acknowledge that. I have a basic understanding. So when someone as smart as Mr. Ra here, Mr. Aron Ra here, starts talking, everyone needs to shut up and listen because these idiots. God, we should call them out. The children.
Aron, who's the one believer apologist that just gets under your skin the most? You just don't want to even have anything to do with them.
Well, there's lots that I don't want to have anything to do with, including the ginger Twinkie we're just talking about.
Stealing that.
Once I'm done with this last series I'm doing on Kent Hovind, then I'm going to be done with him. And I would like to think that everyone will be done with him. He's done. He's over with.
Amen,
and
brother. I like it.
And then I'm going to start punching up.
Yes. Yeah. Some more like William Lane Craig. Well, I don't know. Were you at the Atheist and Christian Book Club at Arlington when my co-host Chris got into it was amicable, but Chris, he's just a co-host on Atheist Edge. Well, he's gone to do better things now, but Frank Turek was there in person in the studio.
Yeah.
And,
now there's somebody.
I wasn't expecting
somebody
it.
that I don't like. I met Frank Turek. He was the first. He was the first evangelical apologist that I ever met in person, face to face, and they had to walk me out of the building to calm my ass down.
Oh,
it just he was enraging to me. I wish that I'd had video because I wasn't carrying a camera with me all the time then. And I would have loved to have had it on video when we did the Q&A, because I raised a question that, of course, got an applause from the audience that he couldn't provide an adequate answer for. My wife did the same. We got another applause from the audience. My son did the same. And he is just, he's a grifter. I mean, everything he says is a lie. It's much like Matt Powell. Everything they say is a lie. And the sad thing with Matt Powell especially is that he knows it.
Yeah.
He knows that nothing he says is true. He just wants to be famous. And that's all he cares about. Yeah, so there's no kind of accountability. These people can't lose anything. It's all about trying to cost the credibility of whoever they're talking to. And much like who's the other one, the New Zealand guy. Have you ever told a lie? Yeah, that guy.
Ray Comfort.
Yeah, who's been spouting the same spiel, the exact same verbatim spiel for 20, 30 years, because it gets him $4 million a year, and it enables him to live in a 2-story house on Malibu Beach. So that's why he tells that lie. When he describes evolution. He says, let's say I believe in evolution. There's a big bang and life forms begin, and because those things happened one right after the other, right? And then he's describing a lump of amorphous meat that suddenly grows eyes, legs, and a tail. Has a lump of hamburger has been sitting around for millions of years, and then suddenly grew eyes, legs, and a tail and became a dog. And had to go walking around looking for another lump of hamburger that also turned into a dog, that also turned into a female dog, the right species and the right, at the right time and all that. So there's no chance that he doesn't know that what he just said is utter bullshit. But he said that on television.
Yeah,
he said that on the Trinity Broadcast Network on Pat Robertson's show. And he's like the stupidest fucking straw man argument ever. And he tells it. He knows that that's bullshit. He knows that's a lie. And that's the problem I have with a lot of these people. They are misleading not just children, but they're also misleading. And a lot of everybody says, "Well, won't you think of the children?" I actually have a little bit more sympathy for the old elderly because I see how they are being manipulated because the elderly have money.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can befuddle the people that have never had a proper education in this, and who are so easily manipulable by fear, then you could extort huge sums of money out of them. So these are the ones that I feel really sorry for. My son questioned why I do what I do when I started out as an activist many years ago, and I remember taking him to some kind of a meeting that was in a movie theater. There's a handful of people talking about. There were 3 people on panel. And they were talking about movies on evolution and religion. And one of the people on the panel was a representative of the Institute for Creation Research. Now, my son doesn't understand why I'm doing this, but he's sitting in the audience, so he's going to find out. This guy, Frank Turek, no, not Frank Turek. What the hell was his name? I can't remember who the guy was from ICR. But he stood up, he starts speaking, and my son is enraged. He's enraged that he's looking at the audience and he sees all these little old ladies bobbing their heads because they're buying it. And it's all emotional. It's all evocative. It's dramatic music and a narrator that inspires fear. This is the way the propaganda works, right? So this is the way this guy is talking. And everything he says is, to borrow the term from the British, absolute bollocks. And when the whole thing was over, I want to go talk to this guy. And I can't because something about me that I wasn't famous. I mean, some people, all of the Christians gather around me anyway, for whatever reason. So I'm in this little cluster of people saying, "Well, if you believe in evolution, then why are we? Where did monkeys come from, or why are there still monkeys? Whatever that kind of stupid question is." I can't get out of that crowd, but my son was a little bitty kid at that point, and he managed to just file right through, and he goes direct to the guy that I wanted to talk to. And I could see him in the distance. He's like pointing his finger at this guy. My little bitty son, 14 years old, is telling off this guy who's 6'3", 6'2", whatever. And while I'm trying to deal with these people and get to that guy myself, I soon see him flee the room. And then all of a sudden, there's a whole other crowd coming and patting me on the back. Well, what happened? So my son got in this argument. He's the only one talking to that guy. And by the way, I've never heard this guy's name since. I don't think he fell out of activism after this, for the best of my knowledge. But he was trying to confuse my son by, saying, "Well, you're demanding challenges to things you can't answer. But if you have the answer, well, then they interrupt the answer to ask something else." So the guy asked for a beneficial mutation. My son named a beneficial mutation just off the top of his head at 14. Right? I think that it was LRP5 for hyperdense phones. The guy doesn't know anything about that. How does this 14-year-old kid know this off the top of his head? Well, you can't name change the subject immediately because you can't address that. Well, you can't name a transitional species. And my son said Hesperocyon. How do you explain that? The guy has no idea. Yeah. So he's getting his ass handed to him by a 14-year-old and fled the room in a visible sweat. And so forever awesome. After that, I asked him, do you understand why I do? And he said, well, I understand why I would do it. And it was, why is it you would do this? And he says, because I could see all those little old ladies. They were believing him. He was lying to them and they're believing it. So he, like me, understand the abuse of the elderly and manipulating them this way to take their money from them. And that's what this whole shtick is about.
Yeah.
Yes. We talk about that shit all the time.
I know your son. He's been on our show. He's a class act, and he's cut from the same cloth, boy. I tell you that. Skids, tell us about TANG. What's it all about in October? And if this is as big as I think it's gonna get, inevitably, Aron and I know this from. We did a press conference once in Fort Worth, and the picket line, Christians everywhere. So what are you guys going to do, Skids and Reverend, if like there's a huge picket line of Christians out wanting, reminding you that you're all damned to hell?
Oh, I hope.
Well, this is actually a very good question, because actually the name of the conference is Better. And the reason that TANG and more specifically Oz gave it the name Better is the word better comes from the idea of, how do we have better communication? How do we have better discussions? How do we have better ways of sharing information? So, in a way, the whole idea of bringing a lot of theists and believers into this idea where we're sitting down and saying, hey, we're not here just to, point fingers and laugh. Well, we do that sometimes in our show, but we're not here to point fingers and laugh and be mean. The point is, we want to discuss what you believe, and we want to let you know what we believe and where the difference is, where the gap is. And maybe we can help you understand why we don't necessarily accept your claims about a deity or a God or any kind of form of supernatural. So if there are people there that are picketing and stuff like that, I mean, it would be nice that we would be that important that people would find that they would need to picket. But at the same time, the whole point of being there is not to get in a fight with them. It's to literally say, hey, if you want to know why we think the way we do, just watch our stuff, have communication with us, just talk to us, and we'll explain exactly what we believe, why we believe it, and maybe you can understand what you're trying to sell us is why we don't accept it.
One word of advice I'll give you, just from experience, and Aron can back me up on this, but it was Aron that was he was in a heated debate with this guy was holding a sign that said I don't have enough faith to be an atheist or some bullshit like that, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a uniformed on-duty cop right there watching everything just to make sure, keeping the peace, right? Awesome. This picketer was in Aron and other people's face, pointing fingers, getting like dangerously close to simple assault, right? In my book, the cop didn't do a word, didn't say a word, didn't do a thing. As soon as Aron started, you know how Aron gets, he started getting heated and his hand started waving. As soon as he didn't even bow up to him, and the cop was like, hey. So there's gonna be, what's the word? There's gonna be, they're gonna discriminate against us, even the uniformed police officers. So don't carry weapons. Don't give the authorities any reason to come bring it back on you guys. So I'll give you that.
I know what I would do. I know what I'm going to do if I can make it. I'm going to join them. I'm going to pick it. Oh, those faith not included. They're horrible.
I always
caca things about Jesus.
Yeah,
I would have so much fun. Oh my God!
You've seen the movie Avengers, where they said, we've got a Hulk. If things get out of hand, we've got a Reverend Brother Heathen.
Being a reverend of the Church of Heretics, I am used to ministering and sending out to the lost that are out there. That I am here to break the binds and the chains that they are under. And so that is okay. I go in love and moist fuckery, because that's what I specialize in. And it is a way of reaching the people.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Walk the path. Yes, I walk the path of moist fuckery. And it's just not my theology. It's what we practice, and we minister to the people. And it brings healing. And what we have I know there's a lot of jokes.
I don't get any of this.
I know we have a lot of jokes, and I know a lot of it's not serious, but it really is in all seriousness right now. We have a focus on helping other people lose the fear of hell. That is our single focus point. I'm a former believer of 20 years. I was in a religious cult for 7 of those years by 2 women. One of them claimed to be multiple personalities, raised in an underground satanic, getting away from all that crap and seeing the satanic panic of the 80s. Now I realize it's all shit. It was all bullshit. But I understood the main weapon that they use is fear. And like Aron said, it's fear. It's this grift that they use to make money. Make money. This is always what it's about. It's about money and control.
I got a couple things, Reverend.
Yes,
so
sir.
Wes is in the green room, and thank you so much, Wes. You're kind of acting as our liaison with the live chat, because I can't multitask. So thank you. That's funny. Keeping it
well
moist.
done. Well done,
Great
Wes.
segue. Great segue, Ox, about drive by with pepper spray, because the next question for Aron, and then I'll let you guys, the TANG guys, kind of chime in. So oleoresin capsicum and Scoville heat units, describe what that is and tell me your worst experience ever. And is it possible now, as a combat Marine, I went through it's a long story, but there was a course I went through. It was 6 weeks long. Every morning it starts off with 3 shots of pepper spray across the bridge of the nose, and that's when you start your training. It sucks.
Oh, that's awful.
It sucks. So, Aron, tell us about your worst experience ever.
Yes.
My worst experience ever is kind of embarrassing. So there's a local place that does Nashville hot chicken. My wife is addicted to Nashville hot chicken. So we have to try all of the places that do that. One place flavored their chicken with sriracha peppers. And we ended up talking to the chef about that one. If you're going to call it Nashville hot, that means like Ghost, Scorpion, Carolina Reaper. It doesn't mean sriracha. I don't mean to be a Karen or anything, but I just had to argue about, this is false advertising. This is only sriracha pepper. This is when you say Nashville hot, it's like, no, seriously, I mean hot. That's what Nashville hot means. So we go to this one place, and they used to make us sign a waiver that if you can finish this order, then we'll give you a free beer. And also you have to sign this waiver that you're not going to sue us. This is the deal. You're not going to sue us, and we'll give you a beer if you live. And we just always got a free beer. But then we go to this other place where there was no such waiver, and it was actually legit. It's called Palmer's Chicken here in Dallas. And we went to this place. We asked they had the Nashville hot, and then they had something beyond that. It's called napalm. And of course we ordered napalm, and the girl behind the counter said, "Oh, no, this is so hot, it's not even good." And so she's warning us against that. Now, I've been to a couple of places that do Nashville hot chicken where you have the number 4 and the number 5, and they're hardly discernible. As a matter of fact, one upon a time we went to Hattie B's in Nashville, and the number 4 on that night was actually hotter than the number 5. But in Palmer's Chicken, there's a huge gap between their Nashville hot and their napalm. Both are good. Surprisingly, both are actually good as far as the flavor goes. The problem was I managed to get through, eating mouthful of live bees for a bit. And I managed to survive that without having to, go to any of the cheats like milk or anything like that. I've never taken Tums at that point in my life. But the funny thing is, I get home thinking everything's fine, and then it hits my intestinal system, and I feel like I'm going to die. I remember actually calling my wife, thinking, "I'm not good," and that's when I discovered, things like Tums, whatever. So, as I said, a little bit embarrassing.
Skids and Reverend, you guys have a Scoville heat unit, oleoresin capsicum story. What's the hottest thing you've ever had?
Oh, I love spicy food. So I had, like Aron said, there was one place local here in Nebraska that
Nebraska.
Nebraska. I know.
How can you even be part of this conversation?
Yeah, I know. That's what I keep saying. That's why I have to come online because there's no one else to talk to. But yeah, we were at a local place and they had some really, really, I think they called it something like napalm too. And I mean, it wasn't really that hot, but it wasn't good. There was no flavor to it. It was just like tomato pasty tasting. And, it's like one of those things you take a bite and, no milk or anything like that. And you just kind of, let the burn sit in. It's all good. It's all good. You take your next bite. Got through it and just fine. Got in the car on the way home and the hiccups just set in. And every time you hiccuped, it just got worse. And then it started, every time you hiccup, you get a little bit of that stomach acid coming up. And then it burnt even more. And it was just very unpleasant. And I always said, if at least it tasted good, it would have been worth it. But it tasted like crap. And then you just feel like shit. So yeah, that was the worst experience. But
Yeah,
I have a very high tolerance.
I felt like I was on an episode of House where you think that moment in every episode where everything seems fine and then suddenly double over coughing up blood.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad. Okay, but I got a story for you.
Okay.
Right? So my family and I went out to get something to eat. And I'm telling you, oh my God. So I ordered the Caesar salad and they said it was really garlicky, but holy shit, they weren't kidding. So the first bite, I was like, "Woo!" It was awful. It was so hot.
Caesar salad
it
is
just
for like
burned so bad.
children.
And then, oh my God, my tum. Oh, I had to race to the washroom. It was awful. And it burned so much coming out.
Did your
God,
mommy
it was
give
awful.
you some milk? Did you get a bottle of milk from mommy?
I got some milk, but I'm lactose intolerant, and I started pooping more, and it was like hot liquid milk coming out. It's just like that. It was awful. Oh, it was awful. I'm sorry. I promised I would cry, but I can't. I don't even know why I promised you any more skits. Why I'm not going to cry. You're lucky I don't keep my shirt on during this episode.
You are
I recognize
Canadian,
the
aren't
name.
you?
I recognize a name in the chat. And this is somebody that took us to a restaurant in Manhattan where we ordered fall. Now, on the menu, you have some things that have 1 chili, 2 chili, 3 chilies, and then there's no 4 or 5 on this menu, but there's one that has 6.
They skipped the 5?
They skipped the 4 and they skipped the 5. They go straight.
This is like Spinal Tap shit here, man. Yeah. This is like Spinal. We just crank it up to 11.
Exactly. That was like the other restaurant I was just telling you about. So it's this thing called fall. Now I've had fall since then in different places, make it different ways. The last time I had fall, it was edible, but my wife ordered the fall, and the waitress said, "No, you can either enjoy your meal, or you can have this." And so we ordered vindaloo, hot as you got, because that's what we always do. So the hottest vindaloo you can have, and then or madrasa if they don't have vindaloo, we'll do that one. And on occasion, like London, we've had it where it's really good and really, really hot. But we also ordered the fall. And the funny thing is we're eating their hottest possible vindaloo, and then we also dab into the fall, and the two of us, like a spoonful each of that sauce with the rice. We're like, oh, hell no. Yeah, because that's just, the blood from the aliens, that's what we're eating here.
Acid.
Oh, it's not like the acid that the Joker fell into.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Bleach your skin.
So the title of this is word association. So I think I owe it to you, to the viewers. I'll just do one. I'm just going to throw a word out there, and you guys talk on it.
Okay, let's do this. I'm excited.
Okay. Ivermectin.
Let's do this.
Ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. You take your pick.
Well, I'm not going to take the vaccine because I don't know what's in it, but somehow I know what's in horse dewormer.
What do you guys think? What? Now I'm working. In fact, I'm working on a no shit a valid, sound, logical argument, like written out according to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. I'm going to work out my idea, my argument for why these people think the way they do. And I think it goes back to a lot of them are they're afraid of death, and they're narcissists. They think that, not narcissists, they think the humans are the most special thing in the universe, and we have to be special. We have to be above all the other animals. We have to be the most important thing in the universe, and therefore, we can't die. They're afraid of death, and the way to compensate for that, their little workaround to live forever, is to invent something that gives them the power for something about them to live on after death, i.e. a god. And so they go to this place so they never have to die. And anything that disrupts that, science undermines. You have to admit, science constantly undermines their little delusion. So they have to fight back against science. So whatever science says, they automatically gainsay the opposite. So if science could say the sky is blue, they'll say, no, whatever science says, they know that recombinant mRNA, well, those that do the work, they know that it works. They know the efficacy rate of it. They don't care, though. They automatically knee-jerk fight against science because it undermines their faith in living forever, which is what they want to do. That was a rant. Sorry about that. Ivermectin.
But honestly, I think, just to piggyback off your point before we go back to the word association, what I've come to the conclusion, and I know because I fell into it as a former believer of almost 20 years. They want to believe that they're special. They want to believe they have special knowledge that no one else has, that God has picked them specially. That's why when you present them evidence and reason and everything, nope. The cognitive dissonance sets in. So, anyways, to go back to the word association, when I hear that word, I just think horse steroids.
Well, I know I'm special. Yeah. They told me so at the Olympics.
Now, every time Aron says something pithy, I turn it into a quote and put it on a t-shirt. I make a lot of money.
There you go.
So I think I'm going to write that one down.
Jimmy, you said you were not going to bring up horse steroids again. We already had this discussion. I mean, every time you bring it up, now everybody thinks that we're associated with horse steroids.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
I got 2 emails on my phone just today about, like, the first one says, have you or anyone in your family taken horse steroids? Join our class action lawsuit. And here's another one that I just got. We've been trying to contact you about your horse steroids warranty. You need to calm down about these horse steroids.
It's not my fault. Okay, so guys, so you don't understand. Like on our last episode, we called in my old mentor who put me on the path of moist fuckery.
This guy was a hack.
He's not a hack. He's not a hack, skids. He's a genius, and he's the only psychic that is real, and he has 100% success rates. And I'm sorry that everyone else that called in on our show that asked their questions about their futures had something to do with horse steroids. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. People were getting addicted to horse steroids.
Everybody was going to die of horse steroids. Apparently, he's hanging out on this group full of people addicted to horse steroids, and it's embarrassing. I don't know where you find these terrible guests for our show.
Okay. I did tell you, yes, he did have a little problem with horse steroids when I knew him. It was very toxic. I had to get out of there. And then that just became his life. But what the universe presents him is what it presents him. The people, it was just a coincidence that everyone had to deal with horse steroids. And you know me, skids, I'm very acceptable to influence. And so when he started talking, all I could think about is horse steroids.
So exactly, for all you theists out there, that when you want to take alternative medicines for vaccines,
horse steroids, stay away from it.
You know, it's just stay away, because you will become addicted to horse steroids or dog dewormer.
It'll take you down to a path. You know, it's very ugly.
I knew a guy that was addicted to horse steroids, and the only side effect that he had was that whenever he heard gunfire, he would run in a huge oval.
I hate that. Yes.
Now, in the 80s, I worked at a Gold's Gym. I sold memberships and I worked behind the counter. All these just mutants would come in to work out. And so I learned about steroids because they were dealing them right there in the gym. And there's Decadurabolin is like, that's kind of, everyone takes that and then they stack it with other stuff. And some people are taking equipoise. I don't know if it's still a thing now. This has been 30 years, but equipoise is a horse steroid. And these guys are injecting it intramuscularly and just going to town. I mean, it's fucking insane. Okay.
Crazy.
We've worn that one out. I'm going to switch to a new word association. Whoever wants to chime in. Global war on terrorism / Afghanistan / long wars that U.S. funds.
That's more than one word.
Silence.
But well, no, I was just it's like that was more than one word. So
yes. Okay, terrorism or Afghanistan. Let's go Afghanistan.
A conversation that a lot of people are having about on Facebook right now that has been going on for 20 years, and nobody seemed to bring it up 4 years ago when the clusterfuck was obviously to a point where we couldn't win the war.
All righty then. Aron, Reverend, that one. Tumbleweeds and crickets. Okay.
Well, he's Canadian.
Skids is going to give me crap if I say horse steroids again. So
don't say horse steroids.
I'm not going to say horse steroids. Optimus Prime.
Oh God.
Okay.
What?
Next.
You told me not to talk about horse steroids.
The future of electric vehicles. The future of electric vehicles. Where do you see them? Where are they now? Where do you see them? Are they working? This is mainly for Aron. I don't know if you guys have a hybrid or an EV car. But
I see like 5 years from now, everything is going to be electric.
I think everything's going to go.
Wow, 5.
I think
that's optimistic.
Yeah, because they're having to do an awful lot of marketing. I remember talking 5 years ago with somebody that said that he was working in a company that was designing motors for Isuzu. And they had internal combustion engines that they were already designing right now. They were already ready for production, but they're going to go into production in 5 years. This is what this guy's saying. And I remember telling him that in 5 years, the market is going to want all electric. Why are you still designing, why are you designing internal combustion engines? Everybody's going to want electric. You have dual motor, you have 4-wheel drive automatically or all-wheel drive actually, and you can have 800 horsepower easily. So who the hell wouldn't want an 800 horsepower all-wheel drive when these things are coming off the line, being able to beat Lamborghinis and stuff? So why would we be worried about or working with internal combustion engines? There's only so much of a power range that these engines can do, and we're putting up charging stations all over. My wife and I took our electric car on a road trip out to the desert of Arizona, and we were able to do that. We can go through some pretty empty places in the Southwest, out in the, where you have to go 100 miles to the gas station, whatever. But we're not going to a gas station. We're finding charging stations. Yeah, and we found that it's still cheaper and doesn't take very much longer, even with the charges and everything. It's comparable. And what we charge off of home, because when you live at home, you have your car at home and you're not doing a road trip, you still have to take your car to the gas station all the time. But what we charge our electric car from the house, it's pennies. We can't even see the difference on our electric bill. I can drive from Dallas to Fort Worth, every other day if I want to, and we don't see it. It doesn't cost us. So, but we have all of this power. I mean, every time I dump the pedal on this car, even if I'm already rolling down the road, I chirp the tires because I got the front wheel drive version. I didn't get an all-wheel driver, but it's chirping tires just because I hit the pedal too fast. Wow. So 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. This is just for I didn't get a performance model. I just got a little grocery getter, an economy car. But look at all the power it has.
So Aron said, who wouldn't want a powerful car that doesn't consume fossil fuels? Apparently, the entire state of Nebraska would be the answer of that, because this is the state where they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that, as somebody who had just posted it in the chat said, they need to set up better infrastructure to allow for charging stations to be easily accessible for cars. Nebraska is fighting to, there it is. We need to build more electrical infrastructure to support electrical vehicles. I live in a state where the state is actually making sure that this infrastructure never happens, because we are completely addicted to fossil fuels, and many people in this state want to get paid for the fact that they want to continually run pipelines from the northern states all the way down to the Gulf through our state. They want to get paid for it, and then they're running these pipelines through one of the largest water aquifers in this country, which since they've built this pipeline, it has leaked multiple times, and there have been deaths associated with these pipeline leaks. Yet they want to make sure they still get that government subsidy for allowing this stuff. So they will fight continually to make sure that electric cars never get on. So I don't disagree with Aron that it is definitely coming. I see 5 years, not enough time for states like mine to be more.
One of the other things I need to throw in here is that we had the option in the city that I live in where we could switch, and I chose to switch to entirely green energy.
Yeah, so that would be so nice.
While the majority of Texas gets their power from burning coal, or I think it's actually propane, something like that. They get some kind of natural gas source for most of their energy. We do have at least 20% that comes from wind and solar, and we were able to sign up for an entirely green system. So we're charging our electric car green, and it's not costing us. And we got a buttload of power, and we got 250 miles of range on a charge, and we can charge every day. So,
well, if I could give a Canadian input to this, because it's actually great that you bring this up, Jim. I was reading in the national. I'm Canadian, and I was reading in the National Moose the other day, and yeah, I know you're talking about electrical, and it's a very good source, and everyone's going to it. But here in Canada, we are going to horse steroids.
Oh my God!
Converting over.
Oh my God!
To horse steroids because we find it.
Reverend.
Do you have the mute button for him?
What? Yes, it's true. It's true that it was. It's true, isn't it? I read that. I did imagine that. I daydream a lot.
You imagined it.
Did I?
Yeah, the next story will be how they're harnessing the natural gas of moose farts.
Yes, and we're moving away from moose farts because it's not as a renewable source as you would think. You have to feed them a lot of maple syrup, and that takes away from the prime minister's.
That is and he just will not have his thing I've ever heard in my life.
So we're moving from moose farts to horse steroids.
I've got a hybrid vehicle myself, and I've already.
Yes, Jim's trying to talk there.
That's all right. I've had a hybrid for a while. I'm on my second hybrid, and I've been leery of switching to full EV, and I expressed my concerns with Aron, and then I saw him and Lilandra do that cross New Mexico, Arizona road trip. Followed them the whole way as they were posting, and I'm like, because my big concern is charging stations. I know where we live in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's tons of where we fine, but I thought out in the sticks you might get into some trouble, and seeing them do it made me a believer. My next vehicle and henceforth will be EVs.
Yeah, our family has been looking at them, so I would love to join the crowd, but we would actually have to travel. The closest one for us is actually 40 miles away to charge it.
No, you put the charger at your house.
Yeah. Right, but when you're out, so like if I was out and about and I needed a charge, and that's the only concern is like if you're traveling.
Well, when you've got a 250-mile range.
That's true. And, for me, probably most of the stuff I drive to at most is 20, 25 miles away.
So what happens with us is if we get outside of our range and realize that we've done so much running around that we can't actually make it to home safely, is there's a charging map. You get it on an app on your phone. It shows where all the chargers are for super fast charging. So you can do you can get 80% on your charge in just 20 minutes. You hook up to something and you got 20 minutes. I mean, most of these places are like outside of a Walmart or a Walgreens or something like that. In either case, you plug in your car and you go shop for, whatever, sunglasses, and come back and your car's charged.
And it makes sense. Like I've got 25 solar panels on my roof. If I'm getting direct sunlight and I charge during the day, I'm not paying for fuel at all. I'm not paying for even electricity. I can run my dryer, my washing machine, my dishwasher. I can run everything in the house if in direct sunlight. And I'm still selling surplus back to. I could be charging my car, and I'm still selling surplus back to Encore. So it totally. There's no reason not to.
There is no reason. I have 3 moose in the backyard, and 1 moose is dedicated to farting back into the system. And the other 2 powers my house for weeks.
Yeah.
My friend was complaining about his car. His car has a problem with the radiator, with the transmission, with the fuel injection system, whatever, with the cam. I'm like, our electric car doesn't have any of those things.
Exactly.
It has one
fuel
moving
injection.
part,
What's that?
the motor.
Yeah. Switch gears. I got 2 more things, and then we're going to get to the game show where one of our lucky viewers is going to win everything on my PayPal account.
Yay!
This is for all of you. Name some new up and coming YouTubers, i.e., they've only been around a year or less, that you are following right now, and you are keeping an eye on, that you're really enjoying. Atheist YouTubers, less than a year.
I'll jump on that first. The problem is when you're doing a show, especially like one that Jimmy and I do, we spend a lot of time actually just talking to each other about ideas and stuff. I wish I was watching more content. So I honestly, since we've been doing this, I haven't watched a lot. So I feel bad because I don't really think I've got an answer to that one.
I have to say the same. I can't tell if the new people that I've seen are less than a year or not.
I like Michael Weisman from The Bible Says What, and Andy Hall from Laughing in Disbelief. That's the one. But
they've been around for a long time.
I know, and they're very established, and they're really good, and then they get at the heart, and they're just like their music too.
You didn't answer the question. You're just shamelessly plugging your friends.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's less than a year. Oh, I'm sorry. Faith Not Included. Oh my God. Have you seen those guys? Oh my God. My grandpa pooped himself the other day when he was watching. It was
Andy Hall is he was part of the Daily Atheist, and he struck out on his own. I don't know if that's within the year or so, but yeah, that's good content. I'm following that.
It's always hilarious.
I know, like, Godless Granny's been around more than a year, but I like her stuff. Lisa for Truth, I think. She's up and comer. Now, the cool thing about what's going on right now that I haven't seen since I've been kind of following YouTube atheism since 2009, is the amount of diversity right now. We're getting so many people of color. We're getting more women in. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. There's of course Scientist Mel. Everyone knows her. The African Humanist, Esther, if you guys aren't following her, write that down. The African Humanist, good stuff. And Tobin Templeman, he mixes it with music. Anytime, like you guys, if you're mixing in a little bit of comedy, that's kind of your little thing. That goes a long way too. Yeah, there's a bunch out there.
There's a lot of voices out there, and we need more voices. Because
the more
that's the
merrier.
thing. That's the problem. The enemy, the religious right, the bigots, they're organized. They've got money. They're like unified, and they're marching. And that's the problem with all the atheists and everyone that's marginalized by them. We're in our own little pockets. We need to come together. Imagine if we all fought together, like the Satanists, the LGBTQ community, the Church of Heretics. If we were all fighting with the same unified front of tolerance and relying on the scientific method and promoting equality of women, like we can march and steamroll them because we have the good ideas. We have the good ideas. We have the science. We have the facts. They have make-believe and bigotry.
I didn't even mention trans content creators. That's so awesome. Student Dr. Ben, B. I'm sorry for the pronouns, but if she just goes by B, and there's a bunch of trans content creators now. It's refreshing to see that. Now, I'm not saying, someone like me, middle-aged, XY chromosome, light-skinned, doesn't have also something to say. But you know what? I think the atheist YouTube community should, like President Biden says, it should represent America a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And I've always thought, when I go to my little local, we meet at Jay Gilligan's pub on Wednesday nights up in Arlington, Texas, and you hardly see any females. And I never understood why. And now I'm seeing the young kids come in, and college kids and females, and it's refreshing.
Well, the atheist movement used to be identified by the long white beards.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even kidding. There was a time when I could tell. I'm looking around for the hotel where our conference is, and I could recognize it by all the people that looked like they came out of The Hobbit.
Well, what's problem? It's important for us, okay? You identify like we are white, we're males, and we're middle-aged, whatever. But it's important that we are allies for these people that are marginalized, for all the different groups, that we start speaking out and giving them the voice and speaking out. Because throughout all these, like in Martin Luther King's time with the civil rights, it was important that they had white people on their sides marching beside them, realizing that we keep speaking out, we will saying that there's something wrong, there's something going on that needs to be changed. And that's, if we keep doing that, it helps give them strength too. And we all need to be fighting together. Oh, that's some big thoughts, Reverend. Go back. Sorry about that. Horse steroids. Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh God. Sorry. I said that a lot.
Muted there.
You're muted, Mr. Jim.
So sorry, Skids, you had something to add? I feel like you did.
No, I was just agreeing with Jimmy. So
he's used to it.
All right, last question before we get to the game show.
Getting close.
Where do you see? Okay, they're not going to be Homo sapiens anymore. So whatever Homo sapiens become in 3 million years, what do you see them looking like physically? Now, remember, account for artificial selection. So does that slow down natural selection, or does it speed things up? Does it move things quicker?
I know.
It depends on which of the daughter groups you're talking about, because evolution isn't just like one long sequence. It's diversity. So, I mean, it's a set of daughter groups. They're all slightly different from their siblings. So you have the people that move to Mars, and they end up on their own, and they'll probably be about a lot taller because of reduced gravity or whatever. I don't know what other adaptations they might have, but you're going to have the Elon Musk troop that go off by themselves, and they're obviously not interbreeding with the rest of us, so they'll speciate quite quickly. And then I hesitate to speculate about like the two remaining groups here, like the ones that are interested in what, let's call them the nerd species, and then we have the other group that are still pumping horse tranquilizers and sheep dewormers and eating Tide Pods and
yeah, but those idiots are the ones that are breeding like friggin' rabbits, though. That's the problem.
That is true.
Yeah, so they will
idiocracy
become again like rabbits.
I know what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'll show you.
Oh,
my friend Manny from the future. That's what we're all going to look like.
At least
Manny's from the future, and that's how he put me on the path of moist fuckery. He teaches me and has taught me. That's what we're all going to look like. Big muffin. Big chocolate chip muffin.
I've seen a lot of people walking around who look like a big muffin. So
That's right. And
you're on something.
You've seen Manny talk to me, Skids. You tell me all the time. You see Manny talk to me, and he tells me he's from the future, and I believe
Aron
him.
brought up a good point.
What's that?
Geographical isolation does speed up speciation. That's true. So, but my concern is, I find it highly doubtful that Homo sapiens will be able to live long term on Mars. I don't think it's ever going to happen. UV radiation, gamma radiation, increased rate of cancer. The foods, it's going to be. It's just going to be a great.
There was a movement when George H.W. Bush was president, George Bush Sr., where there was a collaborative effort where all of these different nations had signed on to this one thing about terraforming Mars. And I thought, well, that's very positive. What a nice idea. This was around 1990, I guess. And then it had to be a handful of scientists who point out to these people, these world leaders, that there's no magnetosphere because the core of the planet is dead. And that means you can't terraform Mars.
Right.
That's
no
right.
more than waking up a dead person.
Any atmosphere would just leach out into the atmosphere over time. So it would never retain. The fact that also Mars is slightly smaller than the Earth. If there was
a magnetosphere to protect against the radiation, then it would be possible to plant lichens and that sort of thing. And you could generate enough of an atmosphere to develop a greenhouse. That you could do that. But
I still don't think so. I think Mars is too small.
Not with the planet core being dead.
You know what? It doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because if we don't move away from superstitious beliefs, these idiots stop having a voice in influencing people, we don't have a future. Technology can kill us very quick. And throughout history is like a testament of how violent and sick and unrational they can be. And if we don't start moving away from that, that's why it's so important for the Atheist Edge, for Aron Ra, for what we do, for every atheist voice out there speaking out against this bigotry and intolerance. It's important because if we don't have a future.
Besides radiation,
and as somebody in the chat pointed out, which was something that I was thinking of myself. I mean, very often you find out that the stove doesn't work, and so your wife says, "Well, we need a new kitchen, or we need a new house." Right. So if you can't fix the problem you already have, the relatively minor problem you already have, why would you start all over again with a vastly greater challenge?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Good point, Kat. Right here.
Besides the radiation problem, what I was getting at is Mars is just a little bit too small. This is a consensus, I believe, that it can't retain an atmosphere. So if we terraform, we're going to have to constantly be terraforming. The atmosphere will never retain. It'll always leach out into the atmosphere. Now, the one saving point we do have, I'm all about, just like what Kat just said, quit wrecking our own planet. Let's work on this planet. Great. But I think we should still branch out, do what we can. Our saving grace is the AI singularity. And Aron and I have talked about this before. See what you guys have to say about it. I firmly believe the AGI, the artificial general intelligence singularity, is going to happen in our lifetime. Now, Aron and I are in our 50s. I still think it's going to happen in our lifetime. It's going to happen pretty quick. And when it does, it's going to be exponential. And AGI is going to save us. It's going to tell us what to do and how to do it. And if we don't get to Mars, it'll find a way to get to Mars for us and take care of it. There might not be Homo sapiens populating the Milky Way galaxy, but it'll be something that we created.
You mean you've seen both Terminator and The Matrix, right? And you still think AI is going to protect us?
And that's even the...
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that's the problem.
Our goals might not align. I don't think it's going to be out to get us. But if its goals don't align with ours, I think it's just there is a very good possibility that we end up in zoos. Yes, you're right.
Well, and my point on that is only that look how people react to vaccines and mask mandates. How do you think they're going to react when an AI actually starts developing and coming online, and then a government says, let's put our trust into this to be able to explore the galaxy for us. Do you think that a lot of people are going to be behind that? Like Aron said, people have seen The Matrix, and they've seen Blade Runner, and they've seen Terminator. They freak out about a lot less things than AI. So if it does happen, I don't think people are going to be all embracing of it.
I know what we need to do.
Don't say
all we need to do is stock up on horse steroids.
God
that we can fight back the AI. They won't be able to stop us. We will be unstoppable. I was unstoppable when I was high as balls on horse steroids.
Reverend, your one time on my show has been really a pleasure. The only time you're ever going to come on my show. No, I'm just joking.
Didn't you have a question you were going to ask your audience?
Hold on. I had a true story. When Wes said he set up the appointment, I'm like, Mike, I looked at your content. My God, does he know who we are? Has he ever seen us?
Full disclosure, I've never seen you. I've never seen any of your content, and I'm going to right after
but
this.
We do good content. We got cartoons.
You guys are very prolific. There's, it's on me that I have not experienced your stuff yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a point to do that. I wrote it down.
Experience the moist.
There you go. You had a question from the audience.
Let it pour upon your person. Let it sprinkle from heavens. It's wonderful. The moistness. You have been blessed.
I love it. I love it. This is great. Okay, it is time for the game show now.
But I've got an appointment coming up, and I'm going to have to bail.
Thank you so much, sir. Honestly, I know this wasn't what you expected. You probably haven't, but it was honestly, in all sincerity, thank you for much. I really, you are an inspiration.
You are.
Thank you,
Aron.
Thank you so much for everything you have done. From the bottom of our hearts, all seriousness.
Yep. Let's get together and do some hot, spicy something up in Dallas maybe one day.
Oh, and some Caesar salads. Caesar salads. Extra garlic.
All right. Take care.
Put on the screen.
Let's get my pretty face in there.
The green screen is chroma keying my teeth out. Look at my teeth. It looks like I'm missing teeth.
I know.
Do you see that?
Your hat, the top of your head is also missing, by the way. Yeah. Oh, no.
Put the hat back on. Put the hat back on.
Is that better? No. Oh, boy. I'm going nuts. Okay, now, guys, we're going to switch gears. We're going to switch to the game show. How many we got in the chat? We got 20 people in the chat. Okay.
Ooh, here it comes.
We have music for it. Can I sing the music, please? Okay, stop me, Skids. I can't stop.
Please stop. Please stop right now.
Okay, Skids.
My dogs are going nuts. Aron and I have the same breed of the same colors. They look almost exactly like Great Pyrenees, the white, fluffy, just a big giant polar bear of a dog, and they like to bark. I've seen
Aron, so
yeah, mine looks exactly like his, except it's a female. Okay, now what I was gonna do is show a screenshot of my PayPal because I haven't looked at it in 2 days. My PayPal, all my t-shirt sales and merch and my Patreon, everything goes into that, right? So at any given time, I could have 0 in there, I could have 300 in there, right? Whenever I transfer it to my bank account. And I looked on there just now, and I was thinking it was going to be about $70 or $80. It's not that. It's quite a bit less than that. But we're going to play for what is in my PayPal balance right now. So a lucky viewer is going to win that. And if you win, I'm going to tell you right now, if you win, there's a million ways to reach me. Facebook, Twitter, fucking DM, whatever. You can find me, say, hey, I won that. If you have a PayPal, just give me your PayPal address and I'll send you the money. So here we go. Now, the rules to this, you can't put more than one. Let's say critical cripple. Let's say Dave. Yeah. Let's say Dave answers one of the questions, but then he rethinks himself and he puts in he puts in another answer to the question. I'm only going to go with the first thing Dave puts. If he second guesses himself and puts something else, that doesn't count. So whatever you put in first, that's your answer. All right.
One shot. One shot.
One shot. All right.
Make it a good
Yes, Wes, you can play in the back in the green room. Okay, now it's 11 questions, and what I was going to do is Bart Ehrman, Dr. Bart Ehrman from UNC Chapel Hill, teaches New Testament. He's an agnostic. He has a famous 11-question test that he gives to his freshman class on day one, just to assess where they are. And these are usually devout believers, and to show them that they know nothing about the religion that they believe in.
Wow.
And it's funny. Yeah, and it's great. Except that some of the questions are too easy, so I swapped a lot of them out. All right. So this isn't just Christianity, it's all religions, all types of religions.
Okay.
11 questions. Now, here's what's going to happen. Skids and Reverend, don't say the answer right away. Once I get the correct answer in the live chat, then you guys can talk about it for a while, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Fun times. Good times.
Whoever can first name as many names as you can in the Old and the New Testament for God. And I'll give you a hint. Yahweh is one of them, but Yahweh is only one name for God. As many names as you can name for God that appear in the Bible. And I'll give you another hint. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Off the top of my head, I didn't even Wikipedia it. I didn't look it up. Off the top of my head, I named 10 names for God. Proper names for God. So there might be more. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds.
Now, are we including Jesus? Like, I don't know what you're.
Ooh, you know
are
what?
Including Jesus.
That's a great point. Jesus would be a name for God. Yes, since I've never
No, that because he has a whole like whack full of different names.
Yeah,
that's just for Jesus.
There's a couple things in life that no matter how many experts try to explain it to me, I will never be able to grasp it, either because it's probably illogical or I'm just too much of a dumbass. And two of them are rainbows and the Trinity.
I've heard an egg.
Huh?
An egg. That's how I understood.
Like the physical structure of an egg.
Yeah. You got 3 parts to an egg. You got the egg yolk, the egg white, and then you have the shell. Still, you take one of those parts away, it's still an egg, but they're distinct, separate parts. It's still not a monolithic religion.
Yeah.
Like I don't forget. It's it's still they believe in 3
I've
gods.
had a physicist, multiple experts in the field try to explain rainbows to me. I've even done it on my show. I cannot understand why rainbows are firmly fixed in the sky, why they don't shimmer as the rain falls. I understand prisms. I understand white light getting separated into all the fucking 7 colors. I get that, but I don't understand why it's still, it should shimmer in my mind, and why it's an arc. And they say, if you're in an airplane, you look down, sometimes it's a circle. I still don't understand rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it looks like Dave is in the lead. El Shaddai Dave. And Yahweh, Theos, I'll take it. Kyrios, I don't know what you're talking about. Pater is just a German word for father, so that doesn't work. So I'm going to give Dave 1, 2, 3, 4. Dave has 4 right now. If anyone can beat 4, Woody's coming in.
Oh, look at that.
Woody's coming in with 1. Ooh. Okay. 3,
I got 2 that
5,
no one's
6, 7, 8, 9. Woody's got 9. I'm not gonna include Abba. It might be right, but I don't know it. So I'm gonna give Woody 9. Anyone that can beat 9 or Woody gets this question. El Elyon means God Most High. El Adonai is back when Yahweh used to be in the polytheistic Canaanite religion, when he was just a lesser war god. All right, we're going to call this one. Woody gets the first question.
Good job. But you guys have all missed a couple. I've got a couple that no one's gotten yet.
Oh, which ones did they miss?
I am who I am. That was one name that was given to Moses. The Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the egg.
At least the Alpha.
Woody got that one.
The Alpha and Omega?
He just said alpha.
Well, he said alpha, yeah, but it works.
Yeah. Beginning. He is the beginning and the end.
What else?
That's it. That's all.
Those are two.
The ones I got off the top of my head, no shit, I'm not joking, was
'cause you're smart.
Jehovah,
Hey, Jehovah, yeah.
Adonai, Sabaoth, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Elohim, and Yahweh.
Oh. What'd you get there, Skids? Probably
4
like
years
nothing.
of doing this show, man. I'm started to become something of a New Testament. Now, don't tell Jim Majors because he'll laugh at me. But I feel like I'm becoming a New Testament scholar.
Oh, scholarly and
Yeah.
make believe.
Congratulations
to you.
I got nothing else besides what's already been listed. So.
Here we go.
Like always,
Now, don't say
nothing
it.
else. Like your wife
You
always
two,
says.
the Tang crew, you guys keep your mouth shut until we get the actual answers from the live chat.
Got it.
All right, number 2. Name the 4-armed Hindu elephant god.
Oh, I know that.
Don't say it.
I don't.
Don't say. Oh, Wes got it.
God,
Easy.
look at Wes.
Wes is so smart.
He spelled it wrong, but I'll give it to him. It's GA, not GE. All right.
That's the
good
war
job.
god, isn't it?
I know that one because
Oh,
of The
God.
Simpsons.
I know Vishnu is the god of destruction. I don't know what Ganesha does. Ganesha, I always see him fighting Jesus in atheist memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a badass. Badass.
Oh, let's
Good.
see.
Everyone's smarter than us, kids.
Okay,
That's
number
not
3.
saying a lot, though.
This one's going to be quick. Now, I'm only talking about, now there's many ways to answer this. Just do the one that's most common. Don't go with Ethiopian Orthodox. Don't go with,
Okay.
you know,
This one's
Eastern
gonna be good.
Orthodox. Go with our 66 books in the Bible. How many of those are Old Testament? Out of the 66 books in the Bible, how many of those are the Old Testament? First correct answer wins. No, Wes, you're real close though.
Yeah, I thought he would be close.
I could take a
Dave
crack
got
at
it.
Okay.
39.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 20.
No, I thought
Okay.
I was thinking what Wes thought. I thought it was 40.
Really?
Yeah.
Dave got
Okay.
it. So it's a 3-way
Yes.
tie with Woody, Wes, and Dave. Everyone's got all 3 of them.
We're
got a point.
pulling for you, Wes. Sorry, we
Here
got
we go.
He's our producer, so we
Hold
gotta
on. What do we
pull.
win? What do we win? Like they
Okay,
get money.
I'll tell
Can I
you.
have a hearty handshake? Can I have a hearty
A
handshake?
Laurel and hearty handshake.
A laurel
And-
and a hearty handshake.
Yeah, and
You know-
a job well done, sir. Can you give that to me if I win? Will you give that to me? You promise?
Do you
Like,
guys?
I'm not
think
doing
that
this
a
for
movie-
free. I don't care how much good publicity this is and
Do
how
you guys
well
think a
established.
movie
you are.
like Blazing Saddles could be made nowadays in the
No.
era of political correctness?
It barely could be made when it was made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, basically, it's one of those movies that people could not even show it on TV without just completely butchering it anymore. Yeah, it couldn't be made, which is sad because honestly, the point of that movie was to laugh at the ridiculousness of racism and bigotry and stuff like that. So
We actually referenced
children-
that today.
yeah,
We were
children,
talking about Blazing.
go
Oh.
watch Blazing Saddles.
It's just
please.
it holds up. It holds up. My brother and I, we
It's more
talked to
important
each
now
other in
than
Mel
it was
Brooks.
before.
My brother and I have complete entire conversations in just Mel Brooks quotes.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. I'm a Spaceballs kind of fan. If
Mhm.
I have to. Blazing Saddles was good, but that was his like. Epic.
Like when you guys earlier were talking, Aaron, about the hot stuff and the menu have going from 3 peppers all the way to 6, and I was like, man, that's ludicrous peppers. It jumped right
Come
up.
to ludicrous speed. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
Cat, I don't know. You guys, I'm not missing any teeth, but the chroma key, the green screen's like making my teeth look like I don't know what's going on today. Okay, here
Maybe
we go.
your teeth
Number
are green.
4. No, but that would be an answer, wouldn't it?
It would.
It's fucking weird. Okay. After Muhammad, as soon as Muhammad died, who took over for him? Who was the first caliphate successor to Islam before Sunnis and Shias split? What was the name of the person that took over after Muhammad died? First correct answer wins.
Come on. I have faith in y'all. Come on. You can do it.
Someone is frantically Googling right now, I bet you.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
I knew it, but I was stationed in Iraq for multiple combat tours, so I learned a lot.
Very good answer, Kat, by the way.
No, Dave. I think you might be on the right track. I forget who that guy was. He was the one that compiled all the books, all the shoulder blades, and all the pieces of leather and made the Hadith. I'll take it, Woody, even though you need an R on the end of that. It's Abu Bakr. There should be an R after the K. Woody,
I thought it was Rodimus Prime. After Optimus Prime died in the movie, and he passed on the matrix of leadership to him, and then he grew and he beat Unicron. That's who I thought succeeded Muhammad. Because who else could have, if they didn't have the matrix of leadership? Who else could have that power?
Didn't it go to somebody else after Optimus died?
It went to Ultra Magnus.
The Ultra Magnus.
And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He got killed in the movie. And then, and then it was Rodimus Prime.
Woody's in the lead now. He's got to maintain the lead.
Good job, Woody.
Here we go.
Good
Number
job, Woody.
5. Okay, the little backstory. Right now, I'm right in the middle. Oh, in fact, in about 2.5 hours, I'm about to premiere part 2 of the series that I've been working on for the last 2 months. Writing a script.
Nice.
I got Dragnot Silvis and I got B from her channel, and we collaborated and we are breaking down the parallels between the Book of Jonah and the older Jason and the Argonaut saga tales from the Greek myths. And so it's really fun. Had a great time doing it, and part 2 is going to be out at 1700 Central Time here coming up, so you guys watch for that. So in line with that, Jonah was commanded by God to go to which town and warn them that they're about to get fucked over?
Oh, that one's easy.
You guys know that one? Don't say it yet.
I even know that one.
I'm drawing a blank.
Which town was God about to fuck over? And he told Jonah, hey, you better warn these bastards, or they're about to get it good. Get it good? Yep, Dave got it.
What's that?
Nineveh.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh, wait. No. Scapegoat got it before Dave. Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was.
Scapegoat's in the running now.
I thought it was Cybertron.
Oh, really?
I thought he was going to go warn the Autobots of the Decepticons.
But it was Bumblebee, wasn't it? I forget.
Yeah, it was Bumblebee. Yeah. It was him.
Scapegoat got it just ahead of Dave.
I'm doing so terrible. I really was looking forward to that handshake.
Yeah.
Nineveh.
I'm never going to get it. Why'd you put me on this show, Skids? You know how much I hate losing.
It's not over yet. You still got a chance.
I can still win.
Oh, Aron's gone. Don't you want to leave now? I'm just joking.
Oh, bird! Somebody call the.
I know,
because fuck me, I can't.
Oh, Jim, you're a very handsome man.
I'm totally come on your show.
Don't make him gloat on you because it'll get embarrassed.
Oh, I'll blow smoke up your ass so quick, sir. You won't even know it hits you. I'll be having you floating on cloud 9, sir.
There is there's a huge difference between 250,000 subs and only 8,000 subs. I get you.
Yeah,
I'll go on anyone's show. And you know, a guy like Aron, you know why he's a class act? Is he does have 250,000 subs. Everyone knows him, but he has never said no to me or anyone else I've ever met. If you want him on your show and he's got time, he will do it. And I tell you what, if I ever get to 250,000 subs, I aspire to that. I'm going to come. It could be anybody. You could have 300 subs. If you want me, I'm coming.
Yeah, that's a good thing to aspire to.
When we get up to 2 million subscribers, sir, we want to have you on because you have brought us on. We are just no ones, but you have graced us and put us on your great platform. You know why? It's probably I haven't heard very much because your channel's really smart. You did a lot of smart things. So I'm just not hooked into that kind of thing. We're not smart. So don't be offended that I did. It would hurt my feelings. It would hurt my feelings if your feelings.
You're smarter than you think, guys. Because through your laughter and your comedy, and you are still raising awareness. You are smarter than you think.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Yes.
All right. And then when Courtney finally gets married in October and gets through all the wedding plans and preparation, and when she finally gets her damn master's degree in psychology and she comes back to my show as my co-host, you talk about smart. Wait till she comes back, and when she's a registered, a licensed sex therapist, and she's going to have a huge part to play in this again, back like it was. Okay. What are we on? Number 6. Oh, let's look at the final. Let's look at the score so far. Woody has 2. Wes has 1. Dave has 1. Scapegoat Iscariot has 1. So Woody is clinging to a lead. What's the next one? Woody. Name. Oh gosh. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. I counted 1, 2. I'm going to ask you for a list of names. All right. So this was off the top of my head. I didn't Google it. I didn't research it. So I know I'm right about the ones I wrote down, but there could be more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought of 11 just out of the blue. I pulled 11 out of my ass that I know are correct. There could be more. Pressure. All right. Name everyone that went to heaven while still alive.
Ooh. Oh, damn. Hot damn.
And this one's going to take a while because you're going to have to type it all in. Name everyone that, if you get probably 7, you might win. So it's all a strategy. Like if you know 8, but you want to get it in quick, you type in 7 and punch it. And you might win. 7 will probably win it. 5 might win it. Everyone that went to heaven while still alive.
No, Kat Kerr did not. Why? Because I don't believe in heaven, but I also don't believe there are volcanoes in heaven. And I also don't believe you can ride the lava like some kind of goddamn amusement park ride. So
Scapegoat is in the lead with 2. So don't tell me 2 is going to win. Someone else has to think of more than 2. Those are correct, though. Wait. Moses died of natural causes. So Scapegoat, you only have 1.
You've got 1. I was thinking that. But Wes has got a couple.
That one's not right. That one's not right.
Moses.
That one. None of those are right, Wes. I'm sorry. They all died.
Wes.
They all died of natural causes.
Wes,
someone's got to get this. There we go. Here comes Dave. That one's correct. That one's correct. That one's correct. That one's correct. Oh, God. They're all correct.
Oh,
he must have Googled this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll see if anyone gets more than 9 because I got 11 off the top of my head. How do you know the Talmud, Dave? Jesus Christ, you must have Googled it.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew Elijah and Enoch. Jesus doesn't count because he died.
No, he died, but he went to heaven alive, so he does count.
Oh.
Did anyone guess Optimus Prime or Galvatron yet? I know I'd sneaking that in, but they went to heaven. They did. Okay, I'll stop this. I'm sorry.
And
I'm sorry. Skids, you are supposed to stop me when I go too far. This is
Optimus Prime was brought back to life.
He was him and Jesus. There's a lot of similarities. Jesus fucking stole from Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh God,
I don't know about the Transformers, but the entire trilogy in the Matrix is the fucking Bible. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It goes about 9 levels deep in biblical history. Yeah.
Oh,
everything from the numbers on the apartment, like the Trinity and Neo's apartment number when you walk into their rooms. I mean, every little tiny Easter egg, the Nebuchadnezzar, their ship, everything is biblical. The entire movie is biblical. And of course, Neo, you see how it looked exactly like he was stretched on a crucifix in Revolutions. Yeah.
They weren't subtle about it whatsoever.
Neo is an anagram
in the first movie.
Was it?
I was just going to say, in the first movie, they were a lot more subtle. By the third movie, subtleness went out the window.
I
Yeah,
thought just
I mean, it was
high on
blatant. It was
horses.
blatant and reloaded with just.
They're just shoving in the cocks, just
Okay.
doing that all day.
Dave,
Moving
you're
on.
tied for first place now. Dave and Woody are tied with 2 each. We got
Oh my
Wes
God.
and Scapegoat
Yeah,
Iscariot bringing it up with 1 each. Okay.
I used to work with a guy named Woody. Oh my God, I loved Woody. I used to bug him all the time because his mom would call him on the phone. I'd be like, Woody, because he had a mustache. I'd be like, Woody, come eat your cookies, Woody.
You know what I would do if I had a
He
friend
would
named
like,
Woody?
stop, Mom.
I would look.
Oh, God.
I would say, "Let me look under your shoe and see if Andy is written on there."
Where's Buzz at?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's sweet. I like.
All right,
Buzz.
3 more. 3 more. Here we go.
Okay.
3 more, guys. We can do
All
this.
right, let's
3
do
more.
this. 3
Three
more.
On
3 more.
which month is Ramadan observed? On which
my
month is
God.
Ramadan observed?
I should know this because
Yeah.
I was debating a Muslim, and then they said it was in Ramadan, and they said, "Oh, you're a slave," and I was like, "You're literally starving yourself because someone told you to."
Mm,
They
No,
get
I
you
should
to
know
pick
this
out
one, and I
any-
don't.
As soon as the sun goes down, they can eat as much as they want. And trust me,
yes.
and for
Oh,
those
big deal.
Muslim viewers, I'm sorry to break the news. I'm sorry to spill the beans, but during
Not real.
even during Ramadan, they still at night they drink alcohol, they do drugs, they yes they do.
Oh!
So
Oh, no,
you
say
know
it
what?
isn't, no.
Hypocrisy applies to all religions. Let's just say that.
True. Very true.
Yep.
No one has it yet. Dave, Woody, and Kat are incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about this current year, 2021. I'm talking in general. Which month is Ramadan observed? It's okay. I
No,
will tell you,
the-
it's kind of a trick question. So whoever can tell me why it's a trick question.
Ooh.
Ooh, telling people it's a trick is going to be a trick. I don't like tricks. They're mean.
Ramadan.
Hurt my feelings.
No one's gotten
Birds.
it. Okay, I'm going to open it up to my 2 guests if no one can get it.
I thought it was May.
It's a trick question, so it won't be a particular month because it's based on a different type of something big. I don't want to
the
give too much
calendar.
away.
Their Muslim
Yes.
calendar.
The
Yes.
Islamic
this year was
calendar
in
is,
June, I think, wasn't it? June, late May, June. This year, I thought,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
because it's not like in a particular month. It's like it can cross months, can't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
It's the 13th month of the 13th day.
Is that what you found on Google? It's the
That's
9th.
not-
It's always going to be. Now, this is what I remember from Iraq when I was stationed there. It's always the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, which always changes because it's always 2 each year. It always pushes left 2 weeks. That's why, let's say it's November 15th this year. It might not be.
Mhm.
Let's say it's November 15th this year. Next year, it'll be November 1st. The year after that, it'll be October 15th or October 20th. It always
Got
gets
it.
pushed back 2 weeks.
I just love how they could
Wes
just make
said
up stuff.
Yeah.
9th month. Okay, Wes, I think gets it because he said the 9th month. Yes, Wes gets it. It's the 9th
Well,
month of the Islamic calendar, which makes
We'll
sense.
give
Okay.
it to you this time, Wes.
Yeah,
just
Wes
'cause
gets
we
it.
love you.
It's a 3-way tie for first place.
Oh, it's getting down to the wire.
Sorry, Wes.
shit.
I'm voting for Woody because I like his name. Sorry, and you're always mean to me, Wes. You're always saying stuff behind my back just
He
because
is
I
kinda
can't
mean.
understand him. He's always so mean to me. Jim,
Now,
you should
here's the
see him on
deal.
the show. He's terrible to me. Everyone should watch our show to watch how mean he is to me. It's awful.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cry because
You
I'm
cry a lot.
sensitive, and he knows that.
For those of you
Goddamn
that haven't looked on our calendar yet on Atheist Edge on Facebook, guess who I've got on the 6th of September? Mr. Deity, Brian Dalton.
Nice.
Yeah, one-on-one interview with Brian Dalton, Mr. Deity. So that's going to be fun. Okay, let's see. Now, if in the event after these next two are called out, if it's still a tie for first place, I'm going to pull a few extras out of my ass for tiebreakers.
There we
All
go.
right, here we go.
Oh,
According to Mormonism, where is the Garden of Eden? And I'm going to go pee. You guys think about that and talk amongst yourselves.
I know where. Oh God, this one's easy. Everyone should know this one. Everyone should know this one.
Come on, you can.
Come on, everyone. Come on. You should know this. It's what. God, I don't. You know what? People are going to guess the wrong answer. I could just tell. But they're very smart.
They've
very smart.
They've got
audience.
answers in the chat already.
Do they put that? I can't see. I'm kind of blind because I'm like focusing. I'm focusing because if I get distracted by shiny objects
I'm
or
not sure
anything
what the
else.
answer is. So you all tell me. Oh wait, hey, Dr. Josh is in the chat too.
Dr. Josh! Oh my God, Dr. Josh!
It's an Independence, and then Critical Cripple says it's in Missouri, which is where Independence is. So that might be something. St. Joe, KC area is Wes's second guess. East.
No, wrong. Everyone knows. Hold on. Everyone knows it's in Mexico where the best horse steroids are grown, and that the Mormons believe that is how Joseph Smith got his visions because he was high as balls on horse.
Is that what was in his magic hat?
He was high as balls, and he looked at his seer stones. He had just ejected it in his cock. I don't know why they do that, but they could do it otherwise. They could snort it. But they chose to put it in his cock.
Look on the live chat and make sure that I'm correct that Wes got it just ahead of Dave, right? Independence, Missouri. Wes.
Yeah,
I don't care what Wes
said it
said.
first.
He's always
okay.
wrong,
Wes got
even
it.
when he's right.
Not that we're biased for Wes, but he did say it first.
I'm biased for Wes. He didn't. He said it last. He still hasn't said it. He still hasn't said it.
Last one. Which percentage of U.S. adults are Jewish? What percentage of U.S. adults are Jewish?
I have a pretty good guess, but I don't know if it's correct. So
I know the population of Transformers.
Remember,
in my room
slightly
well
half of all Jews after when did Israel become a country? 1948. 48.
Okay.
And since then, a little over half of them have moved back home, basically, and the rest are diasporatic. How do you diaspora? They're still diaspora. That means they're living exile other places on earth. And besides Israel, the next biggest population is New York City, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I believe you're correct.
Here we go. We got some coming in. Okay. Wes says 4. Dave says 2.2. Woody 2.4. Anyone else? I'm gonna keep it open.
Ox said 48%.
What did Woody say? That's the important thing. What did Woody say?
Woody said 2.4.
2.4.
Well, it's got to be. Okay, so why are we discussing this for? Woody already told us the answer. Woody already told us the answer. Woody's right.
Yeah, I said a percentage though, not a total number.
Are you saying that Woody's wrong? How dare you talk about Woody that way? He's right. The guy is a goddamn genius.
Wes is the most correct so far, but
Wes is wrong. Wes is a goddamn idiot.
I'm going to give it to Wes because it's between 4 and 5%. It's closer to 5%.
God, why did you bring me on this
I
show?
thought that was too much. I was leaning more towards the 2.
I knew this was going to be biased. God, I know you would take
well
Wes.
done, Wes.
I didn't have a good week of t-shirt sales. It should have been closer to $100, but Wes, you win the grand total.
God!
$18.70, I think it was.
Well
my
done,
God.
Wes.
Wes, you don't deserve it. You cheated.
So give me your PayPal in a Facebook message, private message, and I'll send you your cool $18.73.
You can send everything to Wes and in care of Faith Not Included.
This is a special message to Woody. Don't worry, buddy. I'm going to get your $18 from Wes. I know where he keeps his special stuff, and I'll hide it on him, and you'll get that $18. Don't worry, Wes. Woody.
All right, guys. Now here's where we do some final thought. You can take as much time as you want because I got nowhere to be. But if you want to give your final thoughts and talk about this is a good time to talk about your big convention. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Awesome. So first of all, thank you so much for having myself and the Reverend Brother Heathen Jimmy Lou on your show. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully people enjoyed what we do. What we do is we basically talk about silly conspiracy theories, silly beliefs, and just politics and religion as a whole in general. We wrap it up in a whole bunch of really immature jokes made by a bunch of middle-aged old white men. So it's as good as it sounds. So if you like what you see, and you must be on horse steroids if you do like what you see, but if you do like what you see...
Okay, hold on. Don't listen to him, Jim. You're so full of shit, kids. How dare you? Okay, listen, Jim. I don't want to say that we're producing some of the funniest stuff on YouTube's, and if there was ever any evidence of the existence of God, that it would be our show, because it is the most perfect, beautiful creation ever put out into the interwebs. I'm not saying that, but I am. But our show is hilarious. We've got cartoons. We've got skits. We had Dr. Fauci on our show. We had Ike Jones. You remember Ike Jones when he came on our show?
He's a conspiracy theorist.
Yes, and we have our reporter out in the field, Ace Gotham, and he literally went to the depths of hell and got footage.
Literally.
Because, okay, so the story was that there was some preacher, I can't remember his name, Skits, no, it doesn't matter. He's a piece of shit. He's a real piece of shit. I don't care, shit. He was saying that Dr. Fauci was a missionary of Satan. So we didn't believe that. So we put our ace reporter, Ace Gotham, out in the field, and he went to the depths of hell. And he got a powerful video of a demon talking to Dr. Fauci.
Right there.
And I'm telling you, there's a side of Dr. Fauci you see that? The funniest show on the YouTube. We said, yeah. And so he got a footage of Dr. Fauci interacting with a demon. And I'm telling you, you have never seen this side of Dr. Fauci before.
In all seriousness, our show is a lot of fun. We have skits, just like Jimmy said. We have skits. We have cartoons. We have special guests on. We talk a lot just about politics and religion, but we have fun with it. But our main reason to come here is to talk about Better, which is October 9th and 10th in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We are trying to put on, for the first time, one of the best atheist community meetups possible. We have all kinds of speakers. So if you like listening to Seth Andrews talk, or Dr. Josh Bowen, who I saw was in this very chat. So hey,
is Dr. that Digital Hammurabi? Is that the same guy?
That's exactly
that dude is fucking awesome.
He is. He
does a wicked Kent Hovind, by the way, is on the top of our award for the most punchable face. He's been, I don't know if you knew this, but Kent Hovind was putting a propaganda piece that we showcased on our show. Yeah. And Dr. Josh got us hooked up with it, but you should see it. This propaganda piece about we are making waves in the Christian community, and they're scared. That's why they're putting out this shit about us, because they know.
Let's get through our guests.
Yes,
we got to get through our guests.
Do it, kids.
So other than that, we've got Tom Jump, Anthony Magnabosco, Cynthia McDonald, and Dave Warnock. Now, if you've been following the atheist community for a while, I'm sure you know at least one or two of these names. And if you'd like to see them in person, then you need to make your way to Fort Wayne, Indiana in October. And you also, if reservations are available right now, and if you'd like, you can even pay for a special reservation where not only do you get to see these guys talk, but you can have dinner, sit down and be at the same table with these great speakers. Plus, the whole TANG gang.
And we didn't tell everyone. He keeps going over it. For an extra $50, you could sit right in front of Dr. Josh and stare into his beautiful eyes. He's a very handsome man.
Blue eyes.
Striking! It'll change your life looking into his eyes. He'll make you question yourself.
Seth Andrews. I've told Seth to his face, I want to take his voice and lay it down on a bearskin rug by the fire and give it Cavassier and make sweet love to it.
Yeah.
My God.
Just lay naked next to it and sip on some Chardonnay.
It's butter.
That's
all right.
why Skid's
name your guests again, and I'm going to tell you if I've had them on my show or not. Go one at a time.
Some of our guests.
Name all the guest speakers. I'm going to tell you if I've had them on my show or not.
Okay, Seth Andrews.
Yes, he's been on my show. We did a collaboration back 2 years ago.
Nice.
Dr. Josh Bowen.
No, I would love to. Okay, next.
Oh, he's great.
Oh, we might be able to hook you up.
He's a good guy.
Tom Jump.
Yes, one-on-one in Fort Worth, right? A pre-debate and a post-debate analysis.
Excellent. Anthony Magnabosco.
Multiple times. And Courtney, one of the most famous episodes on our show.
Wonderful. Cynthia McDonald.
Never heard of her. I'm going to write that down.
Absolutely check out her contact. She's been on one of our shows on TANG is The Bryce is Right, hosted by Bryce Aroni. Definitely everybody check that one out too. She's appeared on that show a couple of times and is just an absolute treat to listen to. She is very smart, much smarter than I, but that's not saying much, but and just has so much personality. And then finally, Dave Warnock.
No, I mean his name.
He's the author of Dying Out Loud.
I was about to say, is it the guy who's got the terminal illness and he has
ALS.
Heartbreaking.
Yes.
Ooh. Now there's another person. He's already died of esophagus cancer. He was a Jesus mythicist. He was up there with like Robert Price and Kenneth Humphreys and Richard Carrier.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Avalos, Hector Avalos. He recently died. I sent out a message for him to come on the show, and it was too late because esophagus cancer had already taken his voice, and it was heartbreaking. But he wanted to come on the show, but there was no. Yeah, the only way for him to come on the show is if we texted. If all text. Oh, it was heartbreaking, but he was such a class act too. Man, that's going to be. Did you? Where is he? Where does he appear in your lineup? Is he your show closer? Because that's going to draw some tears, boy.
I don't know exactly. I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I'm not sure his order of appearance. But
no, he's not the last. He's not the last guy.
Well,
because the last guys are like awesome. They're like so awesome. Like I can't believe they got the
last guys to speak to close out the entire event. Happens to be the gentleman from a show called Faith Not Included.
Yes.
They like
that's right. It's gonna be us. We're fucking closing this
horse steroids and
fucking
okay. All right.
We are more than one trick pony, by the way. We will talk about other subjects.
You are more than meets the eye.
Whoa!
Transformers.
All back. Yeah, that's why you make.
All right, guys. You know what? Now, for future, if this is a success, which I assume it will be, if you do it next year, and you want to have me and or Courtney on as guest speakers. I already GPSed it. It's 15 hours. I got nothing but time and money. I might make it up there. I doubt I will.
That is
but
a
if you had me
horrible problem to have.
Yeah.
I would come up there and I would probably have one Aron Ra as my carpool buddy. Just saying.
Oh shit!
You
Oh
can
shit!
you can talk to our producer Wes and obviously Oz from Tang to make your pitch for appearing. But yeah,
Or
the goal
even better,
is obviously to do this more than once.
Even better, have it in Dallas, the mecca of atheist YouTubers, and so I don't have to drive as far.
Yeah, apparently there's something about the water in Texas that makes
We are mecca.
prominent
If
atheist
atheism,
YouTubers.
if YouTube atheism were Islam, Dallas, the area between Dallas and Austin would be Mecca, Saudi Arabia. I don't know why, but that's
Can I just say, as a Canadian, Texas is scary and scary.
Who's one of your fellow Canadians, Shannon Q and
Yeah, she's out in the
Neil
East
the
Coast.
604 Atheist. They're coming down
And
to
he's
Austin
on the West
in
Coast.
November for the Faithless Forum 3. I'll be down there giving away
Where's that?
keychains and stickers and fucking all kinds of swag and doing 10-minute interviews with total random strangers.
Where? What are you talking about?
Austin, November 18 to 20. It's the Faithless Forum 3. It's going to be everybody down there.
Oh,
You got him all excited. He thought there was a forum in Canada.
Canada.
I'm saying there's Canadians like Shannon Q, Pologia, and
I know.
they're all coming down. They're coming down out of the sticks into like actual civilization to engage with the community.
You can ask kids. The States is very sensitive. I'm very anxious about even going across.
Jimmy is concerned about the lack of moose populations down in the States, so he doesn't like it down here.
Yeah,
it's an atheist convention, so we'll probably, I'm sure they will be taking social distancing into account, and by then everyone will have the third booster. I'm thinking it's going to it's been postponed twice already, but I'm thinking it's going to happen this time.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed. I mean, November's a ways away, so that would be nice. It's right now, the news out of the States is not the best.
I wish you guys a lot of luck on October. That sounds like a lot of fun. There's still a chance. I might just Fort Wayne, Indiana, October. I might just go ahead and come on up.
We would love to see him.
All right. It's not that terribly far, and I got some Marine buddies. I can multitask. I can visit some people too.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm traveling 10 hours, so you can make it.
I'm traveling 9 if I can get over there.
Wow. It leads me to ask why you picked Fort Wayne if you guys live in Missouri and Canada.
The boss.
The boss man.
The boss. That's okay. He's the man with the vision. Exactly. We are just riding his coattails.
I know Minnesota has a huge atheist population because of the Jesus Mythicist, the Myth Vision podcast, the Mall of America. That whole area is huge with atheists.
Okay, when is everyone going to come over to Canada?
We need to make
when
a trip
come to Canada, we got lots of
go to Canada
here.
Because most of you guys, my passport's up to date. I could go right now, but most of them are too lazy to update or get a passport.
I've got a passport.
Hey, come over. We got legal weed. Come on over here. I used to
Toronto
feed my plants.
Is the shit. I fucking love Toronto.
I used to feed my plants. I'm allowed to grow 4 plants. I have 4 beautiful, 1 indica, 3 sativa. Oh, it's love legal weed. Love it.
Awesome. All right, guys. That will wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming, and I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Go check out our show. It's funny as shit.